Hello students, in continuation with the ray optics, in this class we discuss the spherical mirrors. So in the previous videos you have discussed the reflection in the plane mirrors and image properties of the images formed in a plane mirror. Spherical mirrors. You have to imagine a hollow glass sphere, transparent hollow glass sphere. The inside curved surface is a concave surface, the outside curved surface is a convex surface. If a outer surface, if it is a silvered and painted, and a piece of this sphere acts as a concave mirror. Instead, if the concave surface, that is inside surface, if it is a silvered and painted, the piece of that sphere serves as a convex mirror. In other words, spherical mirrors are curved reflecting surfaces which forms part of a sphere. There are two types of spherical mirrors, concave mirror and convex mirror. Here are the two ray diagrams for the image formation in concave mirror and convex mirror when the object is at an infinite distance, or if a source of light such as the sun being at infinite distance from the earth, the light rays rendered on earth from the sun is a parallel beam of light. When this parallel beam of light, that is the sunlight, what we receive on earth, is made to fall on the concave mirror, after reflection, all the rays meet at a point on the principal axis called real focus. Whereas in case of convex mirror, when a parallel beam of light, that is the sunlight, is made to fall on convex mirror, after reflection all the light rays diverge, and they appear to diverge from a point on the principal axis called virtual focus. The concave mirrors are usually used as reflectors in torch lights, search lights, vehicle headlights, so and so forth. Whereas convex mirrors are used in vehicles as a rear view mirror. The oncoming traffic from behind can be seen in convex mirror. The important terms we need to discuss in connection with the image formation in spherical mirrors. The important terms. Let me read out all the important terms, then we switch back to the diagram and discuss the same. Important terms are pole, denoted by P, center of curvature C, radius of curvature R, principal axis, principal focus denoted by F, focal length denoted by small letter f, aperture dash. So refer to the diagram. The geometrical midpoint of a curved reflecting surface is called as pole of the mirror. Here the pole is at the center of these two mirrors denoted by P. Center of curvature C. Here also the C, center of curvature. Center of curvature of a spherical mirrors is the center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part. Radius of curvature, third term. The radius of curvature of concave mirror or convex mirror is the radius of the sphere of which the mirrors are part of the sphere or forms part of a sphere. Then principal axis, a straight line passing through pole and center of curvature is called principal axis. Then the next term is principal focus. It is a point on the principal axis. When a parallel beam of light is made to fall on concave or convex mirror, after reflection the rays meet at a point on the principal axis or appears to diverge from a point on the principal axis called principal focus. Then comes aperture. Aperture is the effective diameter of a given spherical mirror. It is the measure of the surface area available for reflection. So aperture is the surface area available for reflection is called aperture, and it is measured as effective diameter of the given spherical mirror. Further, relation between focal length and radius of curvature. Focal length and radius of curvature. So, hoping that you have understood what is the principal focus. The distance between the principal focus and pole of the mirror, that is a PF. P is a pole, F is a principal focus. The distance between the pole and the principal focus is called focal length. It is denoted by a small letter F. Radius of curvature is a PC. So you have to bear in mind here, CM is a radius of a spherical mirror. CP is also radius of spherical mirror. So CM is perpendicular to the spherical mirror. Even the CP is also perpendicular to the spherical mirror. In other words, all radii to the sphere are perpendicular to the surface of the sphere. Here we have to consider a concave mirror of a small aperture, in the sense the surface area available for reflection being less. Let AM be the ray parallel to the principal axis made to incident on the mirror at M. CM is normally drawn through the point of incidence M. After reflection, the light ray passes through focus. The angle of incidence is theta, angle of reflection is also theta. The angle MFN is alternate angle, that's why it is a 2 theta. Aperture of the mirror being small, n lies very close to P. The distances measured from n are nearly equals to the distances measured from P. So, we are discussing the relation between a focal length and radius of curvature. For that, we have to consider a right angle triangle MCN. If we define tan theta, that is opposite side by adjacent side, MN by NC. Likewise, tan 2 theta from triangle MFN, tan 2 theta is opposite side is MN and adjacent side is NF. NF can be read as PF, NC can be read as PC. Aperture being small, N lies very close to P, so distances measured from N are nearly equals to the distances measured from P. So, we define here tan theta is a MN by CN, or angle being very small, theta being very small. Instead of tan theta, we just write theta. Theta equals to Mn by Pc. Likewise, tan 2 theta is Mn by Nf, or 2 theta equals to Mn by Pf. So aperture being small, N lies very close to P. That's why instead of Cn we are writing Pc. Instead of Nf we are writing Pf. Then taking the ratio 2 theta by theta results out to be R by F, or 2 equals to R by F and R equals to 2 times of f. So in our laboratory we have the concave mirrors of focal length 15 centimeter. Radius of curvature comes out to be 30 centimeter. So bear in mind, radius of curvature is always double the focal length, or focal length is half the radius of curvature in case of spherical mirrors, either concave or convex. Cartesian new sign conventions. So later we will be deriving a mirror formula, and that mirror formula holds good for all the cases. In that context, a Cartesian, a mathematician, have proposed a sign conventions so that a single formula can be made use for all the cases and all the types of spherical mirrors. So here M dash is a concave mirror, AB is the extended object placed just beyond C. To get the position and the nature of the image, we have to consider a set of rays starting from the object. Namely, here a ray parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through focus. A ray incidenting at P, following the laws of reflection. After reflection, the light travels in a particular direction such that angle of reflection must be equal to angle of incidence. The third ray passing through the focus incidenting on the concave mirror after reflection runs parallel to the principal axis. The fourth ray passing through center of curvature incidenting on the concave mirror after reflection, it retraces its original path but in opposite direction. All the four reflected rays intersect each other at a point. Through that point of intersection, a perpendicular is drawn which gives the position and the nature of the image. AB is the extended linear object. A dash B dash is the image formed between F and C. So here the set of conventions, sign conventions are: object must be always be placed to the left of the mirror. So here also the object AB is to the left of the mirror, so object always is to be placed to the left of the mirror. Second convention is distances measured in the direction of light are to be taken as positive, and distances measured against the direction of light are to be taken negative. All distances are measured from the pole of the mirror P. The third convention. The fourth convention is heights of the objects and images measured in upward direction perpendicular to the principal axis are to be taken as positive, and the heights of the objects and images measured in the downward direction perpendicular to the principal axis are to be taken as negative. These are the four Cartesian new sign conventions. So here PF, all distances are to be measured from the pole. Object being to the left of the mirror, light from the object travels from left to right. Here all the distances are measured from right to left from a pole of the mirror. So PF is a focal length minus F, since opposite to the direction of light. PA is object distance minus U. PA dash is minus V, image distance. Radius of curvature is minus R. Height of the object plus H, and the height of the image A dash B dash as a minus H. So I hope you have followed the Cartesian new sign conventions. In all there are four. The first one is object must be to the left of the mirror. Second one, distances measured in the direction of light are to be taken as a positive, and distances measured against the direction of light are to be taken as negative. All distances are to be measured from pole of the mirror P. Heights of the objects and images measured in upward direction are to be taken as positive, and in downward direction as negative. Thank you.